Yes. Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is I, your Travel God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here on a hot, volcanic hot and steamy, yucky, sticky. It's hot, ladies and gentlemen. It is a hot Thursday evening, getting close to Thursday night here in the Northeast. Sun's gonna be going down pretty soon. Gonna get dark pretty soon. But it is Thursday evening, Thursday night, June the 11th, 2026. Thank you all for watching right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube Wrestling Channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down in my pants, or in my shorts, down below, always known as the description box below. And you can comment on this video or any one of my videos from the past, now, and in the future. Comment below these stupid comments. You'll get sent into the Shadow Realm, placed in an Iron Maiden, and then put into the bowels of hell, and then Ozzy and Satan will find you, and then they will eat your goddamn rotting soul. So, go do it somewhere else, because you're not going to do it on here. You don't like that? That's tough shit, bitch. And we move on. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications. Don't miss the next one. You missed the next one, well, pretty much you're SOL. I think we all know what that means by now. If you don't know, you're stupid and out of luck. And that's pretty much it. And for newbies out there that haven't, if you've never seen my channel before in your life, then, and if you want to subscribe, please do. And if you're a great person, you know, just a normal person, man or woman, you know, we don't discriminate here, but you like wrestling, music, movies, and all that other good shit, you came to the right place, because when you do subscribe to my channel, we thank you, and as we say in the business, because it is a business, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, you grab this time a big, huge, tasty, cold one. Oh yeah, we got Dunkin' Refreshers. This is strawberry dragon fruit lemonade. Strawberry dragon fruit lemonade. Cheers, you fuckers. I'm not gonna chug it. I would, but I'm not. We got that. But grab yourself a nice, big, tasty, cold one. Put your feet up and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You know, then kiss my rosy red ass, Mahoney, and go fuck yourself. Simple as that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, it is hot today. It is steamy, it is hot, still light outside. It's going to get dark in about, I would say about 20-25 minutes. Right before 9 o'clock, you gotta love that. And it's almost summer. We are 10 days away from summer. So, we got 10 more days of, well, actually, 9.5 more days of spring. We saw summer next Sunday. And then, pretty much the weekend after that is July 4th weekend. So, we are getting into the summer, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get through the next 2.5 weeks of June and the end of the first half of The Price is Right. Or, the first half of the year. Then we start the second half of The Price is Right. I keep saying it. But it's fun to say. The second half of 2026, as we are now going to be counting down the days to the unofficial end of summer. That's Labor Day weekend, and then we're getting into fall, the Halloween season, then the holiday season, Thanksgiving, Christmas is coming up, the big 5-0, if you know what I mean. That's coming up way later. Lots of things happening, so stay tuned, hit that bell, and if you don't, I'm going to make you hit the bell, or I'm just going to grab the bell and smack you in the face with it. And that's pretty much it. So, you miss anything, well, you're, like I said, you're SOL, and I think we all know what that means. And if you don't know, we'll have to slap you with a bell again. And that's that. But lots of things coming up in the summer. Can't wait for that. We're going to go all the way through Labor Day weekend into Halloween. Maybe a little bit dicey around Halloween, but we'll see what happens with that. And hopefully we can get to the end of the year and beyond. See what happens with that. Because I'm about to hit my summer schedule, so, you know, I don't work that much in the summer, because, you know, it's the summer. So, but I will, coming up in like the end of this month, in pretty much in July, is pretty busy for me. So I may I'm gonna still try to do as many videos as I can, but got my mini vacations coming up. I'm gonna take some weekends off. Especially July 4th weekend. After July 3rd, after SmackDown July 3rd, I will not be on YouTube pretty much for that Saturday. July 4th, I'm not going to be on at all. July 5th, I may be on, I may not. I might just take that day off too. Come back for Monday Night Raw on, we'll talk about 4th of July, some other stuff on July 6th. So I might take a 2-day vacation, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But late July, I will be definitely incommunicado, and maybe a little bit of August. So I got a lot of summer plans. Man, I think some of you people need to take a vacation from this website. I'm just saying. But I digress on that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this hot, steamy Thursday evening, getting close to Thursday night, we got Impact Wrestling coming up at the top of the hour. Should be some good stuff. I don't know if it's from Sacramento. I don't know where we are this week. Probably being Sacktown. We got Mike Santana taking on Grandpa Eric Young, non-title affair. So we're getting a little preview of Slammiversary coming up in 2 weeks. And a whole lot more on your 2+ hour cure for insomnia, and that's Impact Wrestling. Also, we got Ring of Honor tonight, the go-home show before next week's Global Wars. Cincinnati, Ohio! That shithole that it is. Next to Cleveland, it's still a shithole. Both of them are shitholes. Akron is too. Oops, but I digress. We move on with that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this Thursday night, it is time, after 7 minutes of spiel, which you clipped because you got nothing else to do, it is time for your late and out-of-date NXT review for this past Tuesday, 6-9. Oh yeah, one of my favorites. My favorite number next to 666, the number of the beast. 6-9, June the 9th, 2026. And that's it. All right, so we are once again emanating from the parking lot at Nickelodeon Studios inside the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida. Alright, we got 2 weeks away from the Great American Bash. First pay-per-view on broadcast television. That's going to be epic, coming up 2 weeks from Sunday. So, we got a lot of good things coming up. We'll see who's going to be the number 1 contender to my cousin, Tony D. We got Mr. Evil, or Naraka, taking on the man who... He's big, he's bad, he'll body slam your fucking dad. And that's Mason Rook. So he becomes the number 1 contender for the world title. And we also got, for the women's North American title, we got Ms. Tatum Paxley taking on, well, the girl that hasn't won a title in NXT in a long time, and that's Delta, or Zarya, but I call her Delta. That's her given wrestling name. Not her actual name, but her other name. We don't call her Zarya here. We call her Delta. So that's coming up in the main event of this program, which was alright. Wasn't great, but it was pretty good. And that's that. And as always, our commentary team, ladies and gentlemen, the man with the creepy jacket, he has lots of candy, pretty creepy himself, and that's Vic Joseph, and the man sitting right next to him, the man who smokes more fucking weed combined than you do, and that's a fact. He's a two-time Hall of Famer, the Simp Man himself, and that's Booker T. Sucker, the master of the Spinneroonie, otherwise known as Black Snow, King Booker T. Booker T. Sucker, or King Booker. I miss King Booker. Not Booger. Booger! No, not Booger from WKRP in Cincinnati. That's showing my age, because some of you don't even know that show, you fuckers. Even though the theme song is great. Baby, wanna be the WKRP in Cincinnati. Great show. Great show. Lonnie Anderson, oh. Back then, little baby, little kid looking at Lonnie Anderson and her ginormous titties. Oh, yeah. If I was a little bit older, I'd be like, I want a motorboat, those titties. But I digress. But I was only like 5, 6 years old. I'm like, at that time. But I digress on that. Same years, the early 80s, Laverne and Shirley, Happy Days, great shows in the 80s. Because the 80s are the greatest decade ever. And if you think it's not, ha ha ha! What do you think, the 90s are great? No. 2000s? No. 2010s? Nope. Not even the 2020s so far. 6 years of garbage television. Garbage. I mean, some good shows on Netflix here and there, but Cobra Kai. Just saying. Moving on. But the 80s, greatest decade ever of TV, music, movies, sports. Speaking of sports, how about those goddamn fucking Knicks last night? Oh, jeez. I watched some Spurs fans, reaction videos. I'm like, dude, you should hang yourself after that loss. Holy crap. Wait, you're still a Spurs fan after they blew a 29-point lead? Lynch! Take those jerseys and burn them. Shit. So the Atlanta Falcons, you are off the hook. For finally, after like 15 years. Off the hook, finally. Now the Spurs are the sports franchise that choked a big one. 29 points. I remember when the Celtics came back from a big, huge deficit. It was 2008 or 2009, I forget what year, but I think it was 2008. Of course, Kevin Garnett was on the team. Had to be around 2006, 2008, somewhere around there. And they won the title, I think, that year, too, when they came back to win that game. So the Knicks are pretty much winning on Saturday. Pretty much. If not, definitely Tuesday. I'm thinking they're going to lay an egg on... They may lay an egg on Saturday. But then again, we'll see. But I would think, if I'm the Knicks, I'm like, I'm not even going to play on... I don't even want to play on Saturday. I want to come back and win it at home. And you know that bitch, Taylor Swift, is going to be there. You know it. Everywhere she goes, the team that's there, whether it be the Chiefs, now the Knicks. Then she was at the Yankee game, but they lost. Ha! Your powers don't work in the Bronx against the Dodgers, bitch. So, just saying. But, yeah, Taylor Swift made the Knicks win last night. It wasn't just like they said a prayer, we're going to come back for 29, and then OG, or whatever his last name is, Tip, said a prayer, tip it in, get the Knicks win. Imagine if the Spurs come back and there's, you never know, but they don't have a chance in hell. Like Vince McMahon, no chance in hell. And if you don't like my theme song, you're fired. Okay. Calm down, Vince. Go back to this old folks' home and get a gummy blowjob. I don't like those. I know, Mike. We know you don't like those. Oh, by the way, Mike, come back here for a second. Oh, what? I saw a video of you beating the shit out of DDP with a chair when DDP and his former wife, Kimberly Page, they were fighting, and then she came down to the ring in your match with divorce papers, and DDP ripped them up in his face, and then next thing you know, you come in with a chair, bam, in the head, bam, in the head. Then I think you hit one more in the back, and I think you won that match. I think it was for the U.S. title, I forget. Yeah, I remember that. I kicked his ass. It was pretty funny, because I'm sure, I didn't even need that bitch's fucking help. I could beat DDP with my eyes closed. Well, you could, because you're awesome. I know, I should be in the Hall of Fame. You should. You should, but that was a great match, Mike. Among your other great matches you've had. I had 5-star matches even before Meltzer was around. Oh shit, I know that. You had that 5-star match with that, what's his name? Don't say his name, I hate him! Okay, we won't say his name, Mike. I know, we hate him too. We hate that guy from Japan. I don't like him. I want to kill him. Ugh. Well, you can't do that now because you got the halo on your head. I can't get this goddamn thing off. Well, I don't have Dragon Balls. I can't resurrect you. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's okay. You have a good show. I gotta go to the bar. I gotta do something at the bar. Well, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Watch out for Jerome, motherfucker. Don't worry. I keep Jerome in check sometimes. Yeah, just watch out for the sight, and then you'll be all right. All right. Want to say goodbye, Mike? Bye. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. He just comes out of nowhere. And I'm not talking to myself. It's called impressions, you fucking retards. And satire. So, you can't understand comedy and satire, then you need to go back to school and learn it. Because you can't do impressions better than me. That's a fact. I digress. Alright, let's get back to NXT, because I want to get this done and out of the way. Alright, so anyway, we start off NXT with the opening recap from last week. And then we get right to the action, because as always, a little less talk, and a lot more action, which is trademarked by me and my ex. A little less talk, and a lot more action right here on my show. Alright, so we start off with a tag team match, player. We had Traxium, A-Kid, and Ben Frazier take on the new team of Noam Dar and his little protege, the painter from Spain, Romeo Moreno. This was pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, I like Romeo Moreno. He is pretty damn good. I think he has a good future in Evolve. I think a good, decent future in NXT. Maybe he goes to main roster. I mean, we'll see. But we get to the end of the match. Frazier superplexes Romeo Moreno, who rolls him right into a small package for a near fall. And a double slam by Noam Dar and Romeo get a near fall on Ben Frazier. And then we get a double super kick by Traxium, puts Noam Dar down. Ben Frazier takes Romeo down. And then A-Kid is in the ring, hits the golden ratio into the Phoenix Splash by Mr. Ben Frazier. 1, 2, 3. Traxium get the win. In a little comeback to NXT match. That was pretty good. I gave it 3.25 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, Code of Honor, you love to see it. We rarely get it in WWE/NXT, but when it happens, you love to see it. Great match. Great match. Let's run it back. Why not? Alright, after that, my girl Mandy Winkowski, the women's speed champion, she's still hurt. And she wants to defend the title, whether has her, injury or not. She has her, her knee, her leg is all fucked up. But she wants to be a fighting champion. So, Kendall Gray, who's going to be taking on Mrs. Kaylani, Kaylani Jordan, and for the number one contenders match to Luna Vice SA, her NXT title. So she wishes Maddie well. She goes to leave, and then Luna Vice SA, yes, she comes in caliente, wishes Kendall luck. Kendall doesn't seem interested. I'm not interested, not impressed, Lola. Ha! Go away. No, she's not interested. She's gonna go after Lola after she meets Kaylani later on. Maybe, we'll see. So I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's it. And now after that, we have the Mr. NXT pageant between two of my favorites in NXT, and they follow me on Twitter. Oh, it's true. Kristen Angels, who looks like the lead singer of The Darkness. I believe in a dingo love, just as a little in my heart. Okay, I'm not gonna sing like that, but anyway. And my boy Shiloh Hill. It's gonna be 3 rounds, talent, attire, and public speaking with judges. We got Matt Matthews, some comedian, Aaron Rourke, the Evolve men's champion. First time seeing him. Well, my first time seeing him, your first time seeing him, because, I don't watch Evolve. I don't. I want to, because my girl's, Danny Sikowski's there, and, Zeta Steele was there at one point. I watched a couple of episodes with her in it, but now she's in AEW, besides Ring of Honor. Wendy Choo Choo is the women's champion, by the way. Wendy Choo Choo! A lot of people still on Evolve. That might be on LFG, or you might have seen them on LFG. Elio De Fleur, John Carver, you know, a lot of people. We got that. And the other judge, well, one of Kristen Angel's, buddies, and that's Kit Wilson! Alright, first up is attire with formal wear, casual wear, or second floor, swimwear. Remember that commercial? Second floor, swimwear. Anyway, so Kristen Angels goes first. Holy shit, his hair was poofy. I mean, he looked like a rocker, like a glam rocker from 1988. Like a reject of Def Leppard or something like that. Or whatever glam band you could think of. Maybe the New York Dolls. I don't know, but... Anyway. So he goes first. We got a montage of his gear. And Aaron Rogue's like... Wow. I'm impressed. Impressive. Like Emperor Palpatine would say. Anyway. So Aaron Rogue's jaw has to be, like, legit closed. At the Union Jack Speedo. Oh, what are you looking at? I don't want to know. He was looking at his mask or something. I don't know. Shiloh gets his own montage, wears swimming trunks with a flipper, with flippers and a snorkel mask, like he's going into a pond or some shit. Matt Matthews goes with Shiloh. Why not? Because he's from the trailer park. Shiloh gave him a beach ball. Beach ball mania. But Kit Wilson and Aaron Rourke, they went with Kristen Angels. So he wins that round, obviously, because he's stylish. Shiloh is not. But anyway. Alright, so we got round 2 and 3 coming up a little bit later. Excuse me. Alright, then we get back to wrestling action with Mason Rourke, the man who's big, he's bad, who'll body slam your dad, against Naruko Evil for the number one contendership to my cousin Tony D's title at the Great American Bash. Pretty good match. Lasted a little bit. Well, lasted under 10 minutes. Back and forth they went. And then Cam Hendricks, that bum, Anthony Luke, comes out, causes a distraction at the Mason flips Evil into the corner for the cannonball. And then Anthony Luke comes out for a distraction. That led to Evil hitting into the abyss. Not that abyss, but into the abyss. 1, 2, 3. So we got Evil versus my cousin Tony D. The Yakuza versus the Mafia at the Great American Bash. So we got that. Match was alright. 3 out of 5 stars. And that's pretty much it. Excuse me. Good match. I don't know why Mason didn't go after Anthony Luke after the match. So maybe we'll get something next week with them, or maybe something at the Great American Bash. We get that. Alright, then we go to the back. We have Tavion Heights and the men's North American champion, Miles, don't call him Ozzy Osbourne. They're talking. Tavion suggests that he should get a North American title shot at the Bash. Miles is like Roman, I'm interested. So he's interested, so that match is pretty much official almost. So we get all that. And then the Vanity Project come in, Jackson Drake, and the NXT Tag Team Champions, Brett Baylor and Ricky Smokes, along with Micah Lockwood, Bailey Humphries. So they come in, Jackson Drake says, hey, I should get a title shot, because, I was former Evolve Men's Champion, why not? And then Tavion's like, how about we have a number one contenders match? What is everything's getting a number one contenders match for the Great American Bash? I mean, it sounds great, but, Okay, so Tavion wants a number one contenders match against Jackson Drake next week. Get that. So that works for Miles. Quick and to the point. And, that's pretty much it. So next week, we got Tavion versus Jackson Drake to see who faces Miles at the Bash for the men's North American Championship. Let me move on. I give that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, Then we get a video of Tate Wilder, or as we call him, Tate Rhodes, because he's like Cody. Talks about loving to take risks, especially around NXT and Evolve. And, yeah. He's not a modern-day cowboy. You know, when he played that character in Evolve. And then we saw some of it on LFG the last couple weeks, and he's basically getting his ass handed to him. He's taking way too many risks, and then the coaches are like, "What are you doing? Slow down, asshole!" You know, Kevin C's like, stop. You know, you're not Jeff Hardy. I mean, come on. They should have never released Trill London. I'm sorry. Should have got rid of Tate Wilder, get him out, put back Trill London. Because he's basically Jeff Hardy, the other version. You know, because he's black. But, yeah, the black Jeff Hardy, I'll call him. I'll be politically correct. We get that. Alright, so we see what happens with Tate as we move on. 2.25 out of 5 stars. Then we get to the women's number one contendership for the NXT World Title with Lola Vice watching on from the back. Kaylani Jordan misses him, takes on Kendall Gray. This was a pretty good match. Back and forth they went. I really wanted Kaylani to get the title shot, or maybe we'll get a three-way. Nope, we don't get that. Kendall gets the win. You know, shocking. Kendall Gray gets the win. Long match, though. 13 minutes. And, we got Shades of Grey by Kendall. 1, 2, 3. She gets a title shot. And, oh, man. Pretty much it. But, match was pretty good. 3 out of 5 stars, and that's that. Alright, then it's time for the second part of the NXT pageant talent competition. Shiloh solves the Rubik's Cube, which is pretty hard to do. I can't even do it. I have like 3 Rubik's Cubes. I still can't do it. There's a trick, but I still can't do it with the trick. You suck, Peter! Yeah, I suck your mom's titties. But I digress on that. So he solves it pretty quickly. Then he does some juggling with some sticks. That's inventive. Then Tristan Angels comes in, says, "Hey, I can do it faster than you, the Rubik's Cube." But he's like, grabs it like, fuck! You know? Because it's a special way to turn the blocks, even though it gets complicated. But anyway, Aaron Rourke says, "Tristan, you're taking too long." So Tristan Angel's like, "Fuck the Rubik's Cube," smashes it to bits. And he starts juggling. Like, that's gonna work. And then Shadow rides on a unicycle, steals the balls. That sounds really, really naughty. But he steals the balls because they were in net, Kakarot! The balls were in net! Pretty much. And then, pretty much he wins that round, so it's 1-1. The judges will vote, and then the fans actually get the actual vote, so that makes up the winner. So I can't ride a unicycle, I can't juggle that great, but I can't solve a Rubik's Cube, but I play a good, mean electric twanger. That's guitar for you people at home. Alright, we move on with that. Ugh. Well, that's pretty much it. Oh wow, Bill Rafferty on Card Sharks. Interesting. You know, we had, in Card Sharks, for the game show Card Sharks, we had Jim Perry, Bob Eubanks, and Bill Rafferty. And then, they kind of changed it up. It was the same basic show, but then, when Bill Rafferty came in, they added, you could win prizes during the round. You can win a sailboat, you can win, like, cash. I thought that was inventive. Because those are like 88, 89, and then Card Sharks went off the air for a while. And then they brought it back with that, like, guy, I forgot his name, but not great. I didn't like the reboot of Card Sharks at all. Press Your Luck with Elizabeth Banks, that's good. That's a good reboot. I mean, you know, Family Feud continues to be on the air with Steve Harvey. Wheel of Fortune now with Seacrest out. You know, Vanna White's still there, still looking good at her age. He hasn't aged since like the first fucking season of that show with Pat Sajak. Even before Pat Sajak, it was Chuck Woolley, I believe. And then I think it was Chuck Woolley and somebody else, I forget who. God, it looked like Eric Bischoff. I was like, what? Who is this? No, it's Chuck Woolley, but we get that. And then, you know, Jeopardy's still on the air with Ken Jennings, you know, as host. You know, not bad, but anyway. Price is Right still on the air, like 70 years later. It debuted in 73. Do the math. 53 years of The Price is Right. And I watched pretty much almost every episode. Because, you know, I had the 24/7 Bob Barker channel. You know, and he went all the way until he couldn't do it anymore. And then Drew Carey took over sometime in the early 2000s. He's been the host ever since. He was fat when he started. Now he's like a Slim Jim. You know, step into a Slim Jim. Ooh, yeah. Dig it. Okay. We get that. But good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So we'll see what happens in the public speaking round, and that's that. All right. Let's finish this off. All right. Then we get to Robbie E. Robertson. Dun-dun-dun-dun. He's there with Evil. Congratulates him on his win. Then, he's like, hey, what was in the box that you gave to Tony D? So, he was like, it was an invitation to battle. Okay. And then Kiana Carver comes in. They have a little stare down. Can we get that after the bash? Probably. I think we're getting there. I think that's going to be the next thing. Unless Tony D wins and then he faces Kiana Carver, gets his ass kicked. Sorry, cuz, but it is what it is. Well, there goes my calamari dinner later. Sorry. Anyway, so Evil goes to leave. Keanu says, I still want to fight, so you better do something because I'm going to kick your ass. So Robbie is like, give me a week and I'll get you something. So then Keanu's like, you better give me an answer next week or I'm going to decide my own opponent. Robbie E., you done fucked up. You better get him an opponent. It might be a triple threat. I'm thinking Keanu's gonna get added to this. I don't want it, but I just have a feeling. I got a feeling! I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. Girl, you know you got me. Yeah, whatever. I'm hooked on a feeling. You don't know who sings that, you suck. Actually, you probably do suck because some of you are young. That's Suede, by the way. Great song. Great song. We move on. Alright, then we got a rundown of what's coming up next week. We move on. We got Jada Parker and Natty one-on-one. We'll get to that little thing. Alright, then the Coupling. They want Izzy to win the women's speed title, starting with a win in the speed tournament next week against Thea Hale. Okay. So we'll see what happens with that. Alright, then we get to the main event of NXT for the women's North American title. Tatum Paxley, who looked like almost a Power Ranger, or somebody from Sonic the Hedgehog. I think the gear was like paying homage to Sonic 2 or some shit like that. Anyway, she takes on Delta. Both women with the green eyes scared the crap out of me. I was like, holy shit, it's the Nothing from Neverending Story! I'm the servant of the Nothing. Come to me, Gabak! I'm Mikayu! Yeah, I watched that fucking show. Damn, this fucking guy pissing me off with these notifications on Instagram. Stop! 16 fucking messages this morning. I'm like, come on, dude. It's all about the fucking Knicks. Who gives a fuck? The Knicks won. How many more fucking Instagram posts I gotta get? I mean, seriously. I'm gonna probably block this guy. No, he's one of my good friends. I have to. But I told him to chill, but he doesn't listen to me. I'm gonna have to smack Cowboy around, you know. Smack him around! You'll get it eventually. But he's a cool guy. Anyway, so I got Delta and Tatum Paxley. This was pretty damn good. Under 11 minutes. Get to the end of the match. Go to break. Tatum hits some running forearms and a running flippy dippity. Well, not running flippy dippity doo, but a running flippy famouser. Interesting. In the apron. Ow. And then Delta goes to a spear. Tatum blocked it. Grabbed something like a rolling pump handle slam. It kind of didn't look good. But effective, actually. Delta goes back with a spear for a double down. Then they form it out. Tatum wins that. But she gets caught going up top. But she's able to kick Zarya into the tree of woo! And I didn't know she was going to hit this. Coast to coast! Woo! Almost picture perfect. She kind of didn't hit all of it. Still, impressive. She gets a near fall out of that. Goes to Cemetery Drive. That got broken up by Delta. Who goes for another spear. Missed. And then she crashes to the floor. Comes back in. Hits a spear. Then the F5. 1, 2, 3. We have a new NXT Women's North American Champion. Finally, Delta has won the big one, even though we don't count the one where she defended it in Sol Ruga's honor. That doesn't count. So she's officially the new Women's North American Champion. Good match. 3.25 out of 5 stars. So Delta gets the win. And, well, we'll see what happens with her as we go to the Bash. I think Tatum will get a rematch. Should be good there, but that's pretty much it. Alright, so NXT ends. We did get something with, I don't know if I missed it. How did I miss it? Oh, my notes were bad. Okay. By the way, Shiloh won the NXT pageant. He cut a pretty good promo, talking about his life. It felt like a real promo. Kristen talks about, being a sheep herder and stuff like that. Then we get the fan vote. Shiloh obviously won. Kristen didn't like it. Beat the fuck out of Shiloh with a chair. So, and then he takes the sash, which says Mr. NXT, puts it around him. So, we'll see what happens with that. Dark State, Dion had a match with, I forget who. I had it on my notes. I don't know. Oh, yeah. He fought the Pasta. Jasper Troy and Saquon Sugars. He's popped up on the Titantron. Says, watch your back. And then after the match, he pops up again, but it's a recorded video. And then he comes from behind, hits Osiris Griffin in the leg a few times with the bat. I was like, what happened to Cutler? Oh, you know what happened to Cutler. He got fucked up last week. That's why he wasn't there this week. So we got that. We see Tony D, my cousin. He respects Evil, but he's like, I don't get you. But all that matters is that we're going to face each other for his title at the Bash. Well, he's talking to, I think, Sarah Schreiber. And then Evil comes in and gives him an envelope. And you see the Japanese writing, which I think means war, obviously. That too, excuse me. So he gives him the envelope, and then he bows. Tony's like, what the fuck is this? So he opens the envelope, which has the symbol for evil on the back. Well, it might be war. And then Tony looks at it, and he's like, So next week, I think we got a sit-down between Evil and Tony D. So like I said, the Yakuza versus the Mafia. Who wins? Obviously, you would think the Mafia always wins, right? But you're facing the Yakuza. Alright, let's get that, let me put on, well, that's not the channel. Sorry. Got the AMC. TNA is on the air. We got a recap of Grandpa Eric Young from last week. Well, yeah, he cut a promo on Mike Santana, then he comes out, they talk, and then, did he beat up Mike Santana? I forget. Well, we got the match tonight, not for the title, but yeah, he attacked Mike and hit a pile driver on him. A wicked pile driver. And then he holds up the TNA title. Probably gonna win it at Slammiversary because Mike Santana's going to NXT pretty soon. I think his contract actually ends in July. So, no 30, 60, 90-day non-compete clause. He goes right to NXT. And he's been on NXT a few times. Alright, then we got Mustafa Ali. He's got a date with Casey Navarro tonight for the Intercontinental title. And then we get a recap of the Wicked Garden match. Sponsored by STP. No, not the oil. Stone Temple Pilots. Where the Righteous beat the shit out of the Hardys. Bloody as fuck match. Vincent puts a poison ivy flower down Jeff Hardy's throat. And Jeff Hardy's like convulsing and puke. Puke! He puked. He's gonna puke! So he puked and Matt Hardy was just there and lost. So we got that. And then, that's pretty much it. Leon Slater helped, Brandon the Entertainer and, I forget who, with the system and everything. And then what we didn't see, Nick Neiman says, I'm not going to cash in, I'm not going to tell you when I'm going to cash in my Call Your Shot trophy. That's a lie, Nick. But as we all know, Nick Nemeth parked Issa's car perfectly. Oh, he's the king of parallel parking. Alright, we are from Denver, Colorado. I think this is live? No, not live. This would say live. This is the Denver taping, so we're starting in Denver now. So we're going to Slammiversary with some tapings from Denver, I think over the next couple weeks. Going into Slammiversary. That's always a second. Alright, so we start the show off with Grandpa Eric Young. Is this for the TNA title? Can't be. Oh, it is for the title. I thought it wasn't for the title. Okay. I thought it was a non-title match, but it's for the title. So, Mike Santana possibly could lose the title tonight. I don't think so. I didn't hear, anything on the tapings. So, is this live? Let me check. What does it say? No, it doesn't say. It's new, but I don't think it's live. I think this is a taping. But, anyway. Grandpa Eric Young versus Mike Santana for the TNA title starts off Impact. That's pretty good. So we'll see what happens with that. I think we're going to get a rematch at Slammiversary. So, we're going to get some type of chicanery ending in this match. And we got that. Alright, moving on. Alright, so I missed a few segments. Tony D and Evil, they meet up. They're going to meet up next. They're going to talk next week, face to face. Dion beat Jasper Troy in 8 minutes. Off a distraction from Osiris Griffin. And so Dion hits the Vader bomb. The pastor lost. Sucks. And then afterwards, Saquon Sugars with the mind games. And then he comes out, jumps Osiris Griffin with a pipe. Really a bat. And then smacked the shit out of him. We got that. And then we saw Jada invading Natty's dungeon. So that match is going to happen next week. I think they're going to fight again. They're going to fight next week. It's probably not going to get an ending. And then after that, might get NXT Underground. Because I think that's what it's leading to. For whatever the next pay-per-view is. Or the next event. Or whatever it is. Might be Heatwave. Heatwave's coming up, I think, in July or August. So we'll see what happens with that. Charlotte won Mr. NXT, like I said. I didn't miss anything else. Okay. Alright, so that is pretty much it for NXT. It was a pretty decent show. So I gave it 7.25 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of the show down below in the comment section. Like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. That's that. Alright, gonna go watch TNA. Gonna have my sister with dinner pretty soon. And then just chill for the rest of the night. I do got some errands to run tomorrow. But I will be back later tonight with your Dynamite review. I wanted to do it last night for last week's show, but I accidentally hit the fucking button. I had the video pretty much done, and I hit stop by accident, so I just scrapped it. So, you know what? I scrapped last week's Dynamite Collision review. So this week you get a Dynamite review coming up after Impact. Then we'll talk about TNA Ring of Honor tomorrow, and then we'll get to SmackDown tomorrow night. Should be a good show. Back in the States, 8 p.m. on the USA Network. And then we got Collision on Saturday, and pretty much that's it. No pay-per-views, no events until pretty much the end of this month with the biggest weekend in wrestling history. We got Night of Champions 2 weeks from Saturday, and then a triple header 2 weeks from Sunday, the 28th. Slammiversary going right into NXT, which is pretty much the second hour is going head-to-head with the first hour of Forbidden Door. So, from 4 to about 12:30 or so, we're going to watch a lot of wrestling on the 28th to finish off the month of June. You know, we have Raw, NXT, and Dynamite to finish, Raw and NXT to finish off June. And we start July with AEW, then Ring of Honor TNA, and a taped edition of SmackDown on July 3rd. And then back live July the 10th as we head into the countdown for Saturday's main event, July 18th from the Garden, Madison Square Garden, the Mecca. And then 2 weeks after that, SummerSlam, night 1 and 2 from Minneapolis, Minnesota, where the Vikings play. And in between that, we got in July, we got Redemption, the debut of Redemption. We got the G1 in Japan. Oh, that's going to be epic. And then August, we got All Out at the end of August. And then same weekend with Lockdown on August 23rd. And I think right around Labor Day, we have I don't know when All In is, but we got that. September was supposed to be Money in the Bank, but they moved that to October. We got Triple Mania, September the 11th and 13th. So that should be fun. And a lot of other good shit in the world of professional wrestling. And I'll try to get everything done for that summer ass. And that's pretty much it. So stay tuned. Please hit the bell and all that good shit. So once again, for NXT, 7.25 out of 10 stars. And that's it. So leave me your comments down below. And like Trick would say, let's talk about it. Alright. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'm Peter Joseph signing off. If you're not down with that, I got 3 words for you. Fuck you, man. And that's it. Until next time. Peace.